Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Mr. Benson, your favorite media specialist, teacher, librarian. I know we haven't seen a ton of each other over the last year or so, but hey, it's really exciting to be back in your class today, helping out with some research. So I want to do just like a quick research refresher. I know like sophomore year, you guys got a ton of stuff from me regarding the databases and everything else. So I'll try to make this quick. And just kind of go over and remind you about what we have, suggestions of where to go. And as always, I'm available and here to help you guys if you need additional help with research and everything else. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started and dive into some of the things that we have to offer and places where I think you should get started. One of my favorite research tools is OneTab, and I use this just to stay organized with my tabs and my Chrome, especially when I'm doing a lot of stuff. So notice up here here's OneTab. You're going to find this in the Google Chrome Web Store under extensions. If you just search OneTab, you're going to find it. But I have a whole bunch of Cold War resources. I've just done like some quick searching. The bell's about to ring. I want to keep this stuff. When you do OneTab, you're going to get this little tab up here in your extensions. And now I'm like, oh, I don't want to lose all these. What do I do? If I just hit this, it's going to close all those and put them here in just a little kind of folder. And here are the resources I was working on. Now I can always restore those, and notice it's going to bring them all back. So if I go home and later in the evening I'm working on it, I can go just get those all back. And then if I'm done with a couple, I can close them, but then I can always just hit that and close them out. And I can go back to that. So OneTab's a nice little easy research tool. Another tool I really like to use is Google Keep. In its simplest form, Google Keep is just a note-keeping and to-do list app. And I use it at home and I use it at school, but something really cool that it does, so I can just do to-do lists, I can just take notes in there. But let's say I go to a website and I really like it and I want to save it. If I use the Google Keep extension, which you do need to download the extension, and I click it when I'm on a website, it's just going to save that website right into my Google Keep. And then if I go back and let's say there's a section of text that I really want to save that I'm going to maybe reference later, if I highlight it and then right click on it and say save selection to keep, it just puts it right in there with my note. So now I can open my note and all that text from that website that I want to use plus the link is right there. So Google Keep, I've maybe talked to you about it before, but I'm a huge fan and I highly suggest it. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into research and finding sources. I like to start here locally at what we have in our building and then expand from there. So you're going to want to get familiar with the Poudre High School Library website if you haven't used it before. Now, to get to this website, super easy. From the Poudre High School homepage, couple options. You can go to Academics and down to Library Media Center, or you can go down here. We have a Library Media Center icon here as well. So either of those are going to get you here to our website. Okay, so let's start with print materials. And by print materials, I mean books. Now, depending on your topic, we might have a whole lot of books that they're going to be great for you. We also might not have much. That's the problem with physical books is they have limitations, right? And if you have a popular topic, you may be competing with others for books. But I do suggest you do look at our books. Our history section is definitely one of our best sections of our nonfiction library. So to get to our library catalog, you're going to click here. And you guys, if you've been in the district for a long time, you know that this is what the library book search website looks like. Make sure you're on Poudre High School and not all libraries. Some students get really excited when they see the book they need, but it's at like Fossil Ridge. Not that Fossil Ridge has much, but I'm just kidding. just make sure you're on the Poudre High School site at least to start. And I would start with keywords unless you know you're looking for a specific book or a title, then change it to title. So if I search Cold War, since we're on that topic, I'm going to find all the books that we have that have been flagged as Cold War books. Yeah, like I said, you can see if they're available or not. I would make sure you change it to book instead of video recording or kit. And if I do that, you can see that here are all the books we have. And we can definitely help you find those books if you come in and if you're not sure where exactly they are, but all the call numbers are on here. So, like I said, your topic may provide a lot of books here in the library for you, or maybe not. So, but it's definitely worth checking out, no pun intended, our book collection. All right, so you've looked through our book collection. Maybe you had success, maybe you didn't. But from here, I want you to go to our online databases. I think most of you are going to find some great things here. So if I open that up, it's going to open it up to all the databases that we subscribe to. Now for this project and where you're at, places, I think you can probably use this one, EBSCO, Information Services, and Gale and Context High School. Maybe global issues, those are kind of more recent issues, and opposing viewpoints are more hot button issues now. Depending on your topic, you might find some stuff in here, but really Gale and Context High School and EBSCO are the two you are going to want to use. Now remember, these are pretty extensive databases, and you have to dig through them a little bit. You have to change your search terms around a little bit, and you have to make sure that you know what you're... All right, so you've looked through our book collection. Maybe you had success, maybe you didn't. But from here, I want you to go to our online databases. I think most of you are going to find some great things here. So if I open that up, it's going to open it up to all the databases that we subscribe to. Now for this project and where you're at, places, I think you can probably use this one, EBSCO, Information Services, and Gale and Context High School. Maybe global issues, those are kind of more recent issues, and opposing viewpoints are more hot button issues now. Depending on your topic, you might find some stuff in here, but really Gale and Context High School and EBSCO are the two you are going to want to use. Database passwords. You will use these to find great sources. For database passwords, write them down and keep them somewhere safe. All right, so let's start with EBSCO, because you might be a little less familiar with that. Once you get into EBSCO, you have a whole bunch of options here. I usually find the most success with Explora High School. EBSCO hosts, this is the whole thing. This is going to search everything they possibly have. If you're really having a hard time finding anything, I would go here, but I would definitely start here. We also have the History Reference Center. I tend to have a little bit better luck with just Explora High School, but you're definitely willing, or if you're definitely okay to go look there if you're wanting to try that route. So let's go to Explora High School. So whatever I'm searching within here, I'm going to search up here, but also I'm going to just go down here. Under history, there's Japanese American internment, and so I'm going to just go ahead and open this and see what they have for me. Now, a couple things to consider. One is the publication date. So you want to make sure if you're looking for primary sources, you might want to change this a little bit. You can also change what you want it to search for. So if you want books, biographies, some of these are full ebooks. I would definitely turn reviews off. Reviews are going to be like reviews of books or reviews of articles and not overly helpful. So I would avoid that. You also want to make sure you find full text. I like the PDF full text, but a lot of times the HTML full text is good enough. So as I'm searching through things, you're going to want to make sure you have full text. Sometimes it'll just have like the abstract or something like that. So if I click on this one. And that's going to open up an article about Japanese internment. So if this looks like an article that I want to save after I look through it a little bit, I'm going to go over here and I'm going to just save it to Google Drive. And now that's going to just save into Google Drive. If it asks you, can we save into your Google Drive, go ahead and say yes. Also within here is our citation button right here. So if I click cite, I can go and get all my different citation styles. So everything from Chicago to APA to MLA. So those are all going to be there. So that's our EBSCO database. And then now let's look at Gale in Context High School. This is another good database. A lot less stuff on here than EBSCO. EBSCO's huge. Gale's a little bit more narrowed down, but it's still a really good database. So if we go down, let's look at like the civil rights movement here. This is under history. You can obviously search on here, but I really like this. Is so easy to, search through and organize. So we have everything from primary sources, magazines, audio, or it's probably going to be NPR stories. Academic journals are on here, news, images. So there's a lot regarding the civil rights movement. We also have like featured content, things they think you might be looking for. Reference is going to be like, encyclopedia type sources. So let's just open this one. So right away, as I look through this, if I decide this is going to be a good source, I can go and send it to my Google Drive. I can also download it as like a PDF as well. And citations are going to be in here. Down at the bottom, I have MLA, APA, Chicago, and Harvard. Nobody's using Harvard, but super easy to get these as well. So this is the Gale databases, another really helpful place to go do some research. So that pretty much takes us through what we have to offer for you guys here at Poudre. But I really want to show you what the Poudre River Library, public library, has to offer. They have some really great stuff. So if you don't have a library card, first of all, why don't you have a library card? And second of all, go get a free one. If you go to the Poudre River Library public library page, right here it says need a library card, temporary cards available now. So if I click here, I can go get a library card, and it's digital. The library is not even open right now, or it wasn't last week at least. So here's a great place to go get a library card so that you can use some of their resources. So now once I'm in here, if I go to research, I want to show you what they have here. And if I go under research, I have a few things to look for. First of all, I really like the database JSTOR. So I just clicked on J, if you didn't see what I did there. I clicked on J and that took me to all the J's. And JSTOR Arts and Sciences is a great database. So if I click on that, you'll put in your last name and your library barcode number. And then I can get into this database. Great place to look for things on history and everything else. So highly suggest JSTOR as a place to look outside of the databases that we have. Also back on this site, if you go to primary sources under research, you have a whole bunch of things to search for through here. Now, some of this is like from the Fort Collins, Colorado and Fort Collins History Connection. You'll probably need a little bit more than that, but we also have like Library of Congress digital collections in here, Gale Virtual Reference Library. This is all from the public library. All you need is a library card and you'll be good to go on this. So that's the Poudre River Public Library. Great resources. We work with them all the time. Love what they do there. Last place I want you to consider going is CSU's Morgan Library, right down in the middle of campus. Beautiful library, great place to go get a chai latte, go up to the third floor where it's nice and airy and where all the history books are. Do some research there. It's awesome. Great opportunity to go feel like a college student for a few hours. And their materials and databases are awesome. So to use their stuff, you do need to get a like a public library card from them. We have some of those cards here. If you're under 18, you need to get your parents to sign it, and then you take it into the front desk. Or you can just go into the library and get it there. Once you have that library card, you'll be able to, like I said, check out books there. You can also access their databases, and it's just a great place to go and study and do research. So CSU Morgan Library, see me if you have any questions about that. Okay, so like I said, I was going to keep this brief. Hopefully you now have a chance to get researching and you're going to be able to find some good stuff. If you have any questions, please reach out to me through my email. Follow Hoosier High School Library on Instagram. And hopefully we'll see you back here soon. Maybe even back into the library doing some research. So yeah, don't be a stranger and good luck with this. See ya.